Glorious day to you, my friends. Kia katatar arhanata katirierata. Welcome to Shine. Welcome to day number 97 of Shine. Stargate Heart, illuminate your natural essence. Before I get into the normal intro, bear with me. To whomever's watching the Reiki for Suicide video, no uturu aya acheki ariata, or anybody who is feeling the negative aspects of our emotional state, whether it's grief, despair, fear, guilt, shame, yatata arartananini or yoto otoro. Let's share a few breaths. Sometimes it's hard to let it go. I don't know your pain, but I do know pain. I know despair. I know grief. I know sorrow. I know all about giving up. I am a semicolon. Niorosa aya adatkanahayatata. So ututu urshashayatata. Hang in there. Your story is not over. Nioro otor ukahashia askanahatata kariatata. The idea of a semicolon, if you do not understand, a semicolon is a punctuation mark that is used to join together two complete ideas because it enhances the sentence, the meaning of the sentence. And we're adding the second half of the sentence, the second half of our story, because we are a semicolon. We chose to use a semicolon. And when writing a good story about drama, we have a lot of drama in the first half, and there's drama near the end. But ultimately, in the hero's journey, the hero triumphs. This hero is you. This hero is your inner being, Niyaratakata, which is the whole point of this whole series. Niyakatar aranatakatire eratanata otora hashayatata. Kasihikotoro. So let us breathe for a moment. Let's just slow it down. Your angels, your guides, your inner being, God, loves you no matter what and is with you no matter what. In your greatest moments of despair, asisa ayakotoro oto, when you are feeling like you are giving up and you're ready to give up, aruhutukuryu, but you are watching because you have hope, because you know somewhere out there is this relief for you. No utaya. Hataganata atara arhasgananati arhata. Ask your inner being to show you the love that you seek. Ask your angels to show you the love that you seek. The acceptance that you seek. The light of hope that you seek. Because it's difficult for you to find it. I'm proud of you. Nirosa hatakatira hatara hasananirata. And before we get into that, Niata atar arashashaya katatariata. There's not much that sends reverberations deep down into my core. And this week and next week are some of those weeks for me. White for Vyapini. Heather, my guardian angel. Tomorrow is her day. She still affects me. Yesterday had a vision of the other half of the vision that started this whole left turn on August 11, 2012. Na aturu utishaya tata, tears of joy. Ni uturia, tears of ecstasy. Ni atata atata karushuya ta'aya. Rudraksha, Shiva's tears, that the tears of bliss and ecstasy. It's Ariyato Husoku Turiyasha. And when I make my malas, I'm 99% only going to use Rudraksha. Niyatakaryata Atara Arsanati Katura Hashaya. The other thing, there's one special mantra. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. And thank you, Ati, for that. And it was perfect that it was yesterday. That is that internal love, that is your true nature. And this love is the thing that permeates all realms. It is the Purusha. It is this unconditional love that is everywhere. It is the holy fire across all lokas, realms, ideas of separation. Anyway, Nati, read the book whenever you want. It was out of respect and admiration, and hopefully you see it that way. And thanks for the confirmation that you're watching. And Dan, well done, Akatitiera. I love the seed you planted. We're going to talk about that today. Atakare atatu uruhushaya. Sisa aryanakata kuryoto. Now, before we start talking about Vyapini, I apologize in advance if I'm saying things that don't go according to your belief systems. I do not mean to step on the toes of anybody who treats any of the sacred texts of any belief system. I do not mean to insult you. My belief is that all these sacred texts are guiding you to your truth within, your true nature, just like as described in Yoga Sutra 1.3, when you get to experience your true nature. So Uttara Arakananata Atira Aratakaya. Okay, so welcome to Shine, Stargate Heart, Illuminate Your Natural Essence, where we are spending time with our inner being, exploring our inner being, sure, we can call it that, Narupanam, Nya Atakarisha Atura, where we are experiencing our inner being. We're seeing what it says to us, about us. Check the description below. There's new links. We'll get to them in a second. And we're doing this by chanting the magical chant Om Mani Padme Hum. This is a magical chant, and yes, Ati, every time you chant a chant, it can reveal something new to you. Just like every moment that you spend with your inner being, it can reveal something new to you. And yesterday, during the video, a new meaning of Mani came through. This adventure is simply hilarious and amazing. So we're chanting this 108 times, using the mala of joy. And again, Ati, you're correct. We don't need to count. We're only counting so that you can, if you want to count, you can anticipate when I'm going to go. And the only reason I'm counting is so that I can sync up the rendering of the video with all the text that's shown up that you don't see because your eyes are closed during it. So there is a purpose, but no, we don't need to. We don't need to chant. If you can meditate, sit down and relax, and explore pratyahara, practice it, and withdraw all your senses to the nothingness like we did yesterday. And you can experience that nothingness of your inner being, then, why are you still watching? Anyway, you're entertained for some reason whatsoever. So, we're chanting 108 times. We're using this mala of joy. And the mala of joy, we are breaking up the 108 seeds into 9 groups of 12. And these 9 groups represent one of the chakras in our Merkaba, our ascension vehicle, our chariot, our light body, our aura, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Our aura, our subtle body, our Merkaba, our toric field. But the interesting fact is, you have to really read Shat Chakra Nirupanam. You have to read and understand shlokas 50 through 55 when talking about the Kundalini to understand really what it's talking about. Ati Guru Hata. It's talking about so many things on so many levels. And it's called Shat Chakra Nirupanam for a reason. 6, chakra, the 6 chakra exploration, because you really only have 6 chakras. You don't have. Sahasrara is a byproduct of you working with the other 6. And we don't need anything. Sahasrara is your inner being. It's unfolded of your inner being. Okay? We don't need any of these chakras, but guess what? We talked about it before. Your spirit got dressed in the koshas to come here and explore the contrast of this 3D reality, and you got dressed in the koshas, and you put on all these different ideas of who you wanted to be and what you wanted to explore nirupanam through these ideas of separation of the chakras, of the contrast of both the shadow side and the light side of each of these chakras, so that you can remember the overwhelming experiences and put it in your karmic field in this idea of one lifetime, in the idea of multiple lifetimes. This is what Vyapini is that you can access all of your lifetimes through Vyapini, the idea of Vyapini. We don't need any chakras, but hey, we're here on Earth. You created all of your chakras. So these 9 chakras down at the bottom of our Merkaba, Vasundhara, the Earth Star chakra, it's easiest to see that as one, our connection to the core of Gaia, the heart of Gaia, our density. It's our surrender. That's the easiest one-word term for it. Muladhara, our root chakra, our root support, our foundation. Svadhisthana, the sacral chakra, where the self is established. The water chakra. Manipuraka, the Okutata Ariskatatiria, the solar plexus chakra, our sun, our fire. Atakatar Arshihi, inspiration. Anahata, the heart center. Iskatahariata, our unstruck drum. No one can beat your heart for you. Yikutura arra. Nobody creates your vibration except you. Nisa atagirya. And you don't need to beat a drum for your heart to send out its true nature. Neatara artakiyatata. Vishuddhi, the throat chakra, truth, purity, Akash, sound. We'll talk about that in a moment. Anya, Agnya, the third eye chakra. Sahasrara, the crown chakra at the top of our head, the last chakra in our physical bodies. And then we have at the top of our Merkaba, Vyapini, the goddess who is everywhere, the soul star chakra. Now we're doing this, now we can also break up the 12 seeds in each of the chakras into 4 groups of 3, and this is modeled after Sama Vritti Pranayama. The in-breath, the holding, the out-breath, and the holding. Where we're inviting in the energies, we're exciting and igniting the energies, we are radiating it outward, and we are then embodying the energies. We just finished up embodying Sahasrara, our being the righteous ruler of our reality, our domain, our eminent domain. Today, we're breathing in, we're inviting in. It starts off with sending out the invitations to the party of who you are. We're inviting in the goddess who is everywhere, Vyapini. Okay. Sama Vritti, box breath, it maps to everything that's a cycle. Cycles of the moon, cycles of the year, the sun, cycles of this progression of the equinox. So now we're going to talk about our auric field, and we're going to talk about Vyapini and Vasundhara, because you can't talk about our auric field without either of those. So let's talk about Mother Earth for a minute. The Earth has a gravitational field. The Earth has an electromagnetic field, okay? It has a North Pole at the North Pole, and it has a South Pole at the South Pole. And if you've ever seen any image of the energetic flow of the electromagnetic field of planet Earth, the energy comes out of the South Pole and goes up and flows into the North Pole. This is exactly what happens with you. It goes out of Vasundhara and it flows out and it comes into Vyapini at your North Pole. Vyapini is the North Pole. Vasundhara is the South Pole. And so we can imagine our aura as this electromagnetic field, this energy field around planet Earth. You have one too, okay? Now, we'll talk there's a difference between the magnetic North Pole and the true north, or as they call it, the north of the spin. Planet Earth spins. Your Merkaba spins. And the pole is, the magnetic pole is off. It's not aligned with the spin pole. And sometimes our auric field can feel like it's off because it's not spinning in alignment. You know, we can talk about the cycles of when the poles flip and things like that happen. But right now, you incarnated now on planet Earth at this time when the North Pole is at the North Pole and the South Pole is at the South Pole. Now, there's also a wobble with planet Earth. And this wobble is the precession of the equinox. Guess what? We just had the Mayan New Year. This whole calendar is based on solar cycles, lunar cycles, and the precession of the equinox, the wobble of the Earth. And what happens on the spring equinox at sunrise? What do you see out there? And where is the pole star? Where is it pointing? You know, which one of the different 4 pole stars that are out there, dividing up the great year into 4 cycles, sama, vritti, pranayama, natakaska iatura, atara, shahiyatata. Anyway, but this is also the year of the white overtone wizard, niyaratakasketiyareta. And again, white, purity, overtone, it's your core vibration. Iskatakatita atara, araskananita atara. And wizard is the magic within, okay? So down below in the description, I added new links. I added links to the Sanskrit channel where he's chanting all of the Yoga Sutras. Takes about a half hour to chant them. And then 4 different videos where they're multi-hour videos where he's going into the details of each of the chapters. Chapter 3 is all about your superpowers. What is achievable through meditation or by allowing your inner being to live through you. Because those are like everything else. The Wu Wei is about not too many words. One of my favorite quotes out of Amadeus, musical genius, but it was a great movie, is when the emperor, I forget if it's, their emperor was talking to Mozart about his latest piece, and he says, simply, there's too many notes. There's only so many notes that a person can hear. Well, yeah, your inner being doesn't use words. It uses vibration. It uses unconditional love. Okay, anyway, back to your auric field. It's easier to envision. So if you've seen a torus, okay, the torus field, Vyapini is that if you envision a ball on top of planet Earth, a smaller ball, that intersects with your torus field, that little ring there, your halo, is the intersection of Vyapini and your torus field. In Aquarian Fire, we teach about the torus field in level 5, understanding the flow of it. And in Chakra Nirupanam, even though they're talking about Kundalini, if you read it, they're talking about the flow. They're talking about the flow from the Yamas out of Vasundhara, out of the south, and into the Niyama of Vyapini. They're talking about your torus field, Atakiriyata, and what can be achieved by understanding your torus flow. So, since all the other chakras have a Bij mantra, I thought it was appropriate that the Bij mantra for Vyapini is Eye-eem, Atara Arashkanani Te Arahatsu Totoro. And for Vasundhara, the only one that is, making my heart sing is Hrim, Itikaraska Ayach Otoro Utakaya Atarata. They're both massively awesome, divine, feminine mantras. Where Eye-eem is the Devi, and Hrim is the mother goddess. What more appropriate mantra for connecting to the mother of this reality? So, paraphrasing Chakra Nirupanam Na'atakuriyata, the Devi, that's you, while in your allowing of Vyapini, the Devi who is being, shines therein in the fullness of her lustre. Your light within, your light body, your aura, Nyatakarya. Thereafter, in her subtle state, aura, Nyatakaryata Ataryata, lustrous like lightning and fine like the lotus fiber, she goes to the gleaming, flame-like Shiva, the holy fire, Iskanataryata, the supreme bliss, and a sudden Oh, the supreme bliss of this produces the bliss of liberation. Moksha. The wise and excellent yogi, wrapped in ecstasy and devoted to the lotus feet of the guru, but that's your inner being. You're devoted to the feet, the lotus feet. Vasundhara, they're talking about your torus field, even though they're talking about the kundalini. The kundalini is you, your inner being, trying to escape the koshas. You get that? Not trying to escape. That's it. That's not so positive. The yogi who has, after practice of Yama, surrender from Vasundhara, Niyama, allow into Vyapini, and the like of all that, which is the divine flow of the torus field, your torus and your aura, is the source of uninterrupted joy, and whose mind, the manas, the manamaya kosha, is controlled. Isn't that what the first three sutras are about controlling your mind? Kasiyatu is never born again in this world, samsara, then dances at the feet of the Ista-devata. Well, and again, I don't mean to step on your toes. This idea of samsara and breaking the cycle sounds a lot like a goal. Whether you dive in again into a new lifetime or not, in this idea of your auric field of multiple lifetimes, continuing the thread of thought of that, or you have decided to break the cycle of samsara and reincarnate in a different life. You have evidence of that everywhere you go. Take a look at anybody else walking around. The Mayan phrase, in Lakash, I am another you. They are just another you, okay? In a different idea of samsara, because you have broken the cycle already, and you incarnated as them in a different idea of life and collection of karmic imprint, which continues the life and this cycle and this moksha. Oh, and by the way, the 8 limbs of Ashtanga also map to the chakras and also map to the Merkaba. And moksha's in your heart center. Anything that's 8 or 9 is going to map to the Merkaba. Anything that's 4 or in cycles is going to map to Sama, Vritti, Pranayama, or the cycles of the Dharma wheel. The higher thought forms of the wheel of Dharma, or the higher thought forms of samsara, or moksha, or samadhi. And again, I'm using words that your inner being already knows that I'm wasting time or not wasting time, depending on how you see it. The higher thought forms is I want to continue this idea of multiple lives, of the expressions of Will Mitchell, because when you go up to your soul group after you transition to your loved ones who are sharing ideas of incarnation and exploration of themes, is the easiest way to say it. Anytime you're in a yoga class and you look around, you see other yogis there. That's your community of this now. That's akin to your soul group. that people just come together for a purpose. That's all a soul group is. We're incarnating from a unified purpose. And then we come here and we explore, and we're all different, and we're all having different experiences. But when we share up in our soul group, after this idea of this life is done, you're going, oh, my friends, let me share with you what I just experienced down there on planet Earth. And you take it out of your inner being and you hand it over. And you just say, feel the richness of this contrast. Feel the richness of this experience. And you hand it over. And then they receive it. And they take it and they go, Ari hasana akatari itara hasakacha otor otariata. And maybe you inspire them with the themes that they've been exploring through all of their lifetimes, and then they go, oh, that gives me a great idea. And then you dive into your attraction point on planet Earth or whatever planet you're going to choose to incarnate to. Whatever's going to support your theme the best. And then you go there and you experience a life which is just a stream of consciousness. And then you're going to save all that in your lifetimes. And when we have access to Vyapini, this is what we're gaining access to. I can read more. You read the description down below. And so the Yoga Sutras are also talking about, I got links below to both the Sanskrit channel and to Swami Jay's website, Nyakata Haryata, 117 through 1.29. Nyarata Katakarya Sahatakaryataha. It's talking all about you. And then there's links to all the sutras and the diving in. Or you could just, yoga's a lifelong exploration, whether you call it a discipline or a unleashing of your inner being. Yoga is just a word. Of the devotion of who you truly are, the devotion of your true nature. And don't think you're doing it wrong if you're not practicing yoga. You're living life. Your inner being is telling you you are successful in every moment. Everything that you're doing is successful. It's manifestation. It's creation. What you put out to the universe is what you get back. You are always 100% successful. Yoga and the Yoga Sutras are teaching, explaining how to control your mind to get more expected results from your conscious mind instead of the expected results of your inner being. We'll save more BS for tomorrow and the next day. But this Vyapini, it's easier to see it as like the eye of the hurricane, okay? At the top of your head, it is this openness, this empty space, this Akash. That's why they call it the Akashic Records. It's this eye of the hurricane that's at the top of your torus field, yet it is an energy field. It's a vritti, it's a whirlpool, it's a vortex. You are a vortex. You're a vortex of attraction of experience. The soul star chakra is about allowing. Yes, it's the ultimate divine feminine term. Surrender is akin to it. They're two sides to the same coin, but we don't understand what allowing is, and we don't understand what surrender is. The goddess who is spread everywhere. Sure, you can have access to your higher self, but you can have access to your higher self through any of the chakras, all of your past lives, because the only thing that exists is now. And when we're fully in this now, there is no karma. Karma is an idea of the past and the future. The soul star chakra is about allowing the divine light of your inner being to both go out and to be reflected back into you. The divine flow, whether we're going up to the highest source of consciousness and we see this flow as vertical, or as we see this divine flow as a torus field. It does not matter. It's the flow of the divinity of who you are. And you can map this to the physical world and the physical elements, because there are so many fields. There are more fields than just the electromagnetic field, and more than just the electromagnetic spectrum. Sound and light are just two sub-ranges, two subdomains of the eminent domain of the electromagnetic spectrum. So, one field of the multiple fields of energies that you can tap into. Okay? And 174 hertz involves deep healing, because you can heal your karmic line, you can heal past lives, you can remove physical pain, but we've also taken care of physical pain through Vishuddha, through Anya, through Sahasrara. Chakra and Nirubaram revealed many of those things, whether it's emotional pain or energetic pain. Whether you need your DNA to be reprogrammed, or you can dim now. Thank you. This whole idea of karma, or karmic imprint, let's call it, the emotional debris that life, us experiencing life, just like the leaves that fall during autumn and flow into rivers and creeks and clog it up, we can clear it out, whether we manually do it or you go to an energy worker. Then, with energy clearing, the energy flows down the creek and it flows into Mother Earth at the grounding, just like lightning and a lightning rod. It grounds into planet Earth. And then it flows all the way out and it recycles this. Everything in this matrix of what we think is reality, this holographic universe, and what some people say, and even scientists have math that supports that claim. Because this is a reflection. One more tidbit to ponder. Yeah, the math of string theory is pretty interesting. Because the theory is that each of the strings vibrate at a different frequency. Thus, the different frequencies are the different subatomic particles. Whether they're bosons or mesons or fermions. P.S. I took physics and calculus for fun. Yeah, thank you. Which forms the whole basis of, it reflects the universe back to us. And one interesting thing about mathematics, or any algorithm building in computer science, and just like the scientific method, we start off with a hypothesis. In mathematics, One of the most interesting proofs that we had to do in number theory was we had to prove that 1 plus 1 equals 2. Yeah, the math is interesting, but you're going, why am I proving this? But then once you do it, you go, huh, okay. So in math, we start off with these things called axioms, okay? And in this theory, this number theory of proving 1 plus 1 equals 2, we had to accept two axioms, the concept of 0 and the concept of 1, okay? The proof doesn't work unless you accept this unknowable thing of the Hari and the Om, or the Om, the nothingness, and the Hari, the form, Atura Ashkananiyariyarata, which is interesting. This whole matrix is because you wanted to explore from the nothingness into the form, from your highest source of consciousness. You decided to put on all the forms of the koshas, from your supreme state of bliss, your true authentic self, and all these ideas of separation and contrast to explore who you really are, to forget and to remember, to experience all that is, because you already are all that is. But the only way we know what hot is to experience cold. Anyway, we're going back to the form of chanting Om Mani Padme Hum 108 times, and I speak light language on top of it. And for y'all who it's your first time or you don't forget, light language is simply connecting the heart to the throat and letting it run without the conscious mind. So it's my inner being speaking to your inner being. And I have two states of light language. One where I'm pulling out of any of my past lives. And right now, atitukuta arsha eskatati charya sahatakuriata, or ki ratanani yaratakiskataya takadiri. Or I can channel it. So I'm pulling deep into outside of all the aspects of who I think I am in any past life. I'm going outside of Vyapini into the highest source of consciousness, into everybody's highest source of consciousness, and grabbing whatever. Okay? Or I'm not limiting where it's coming from. And that's the whole idea behind this series and behind Aquarian Fire is sometimes we use limiting speech. We can use limiting speech as focus and emphasis, or we can use limiting speech because we have limiting beliefs and we think that certain things are possible and other things are not possible. Okay. It's your life. You can. But one is encouraging. One is expansive. One is, what can I do? What can I explore? What can I observe? What can I be? Because this Samavriti is about observation and being. You know, the breath in is the intention, our interaction with the universe. This holding our breath at the top is our excitation of it, us getting excited, anticipation of what's going to be reflected back to us. We've received something, which is the observation state. It's what knowledge can we gain from it. The out breath is letting go. It's the surrender aspect. The in-breath is Vyapini working. And we're sending, I'm getting ahead of myself. And once we're done releasing and letting go, we're in that state of bliss, the embodiment of the bliss. And then we do it all again. I'm going to switch my legs. Because I've been sitting here a while, not just the 45 minutes so far. And yesterday, during Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu, I knew I should have crossed my legs the other way. But because it is my magical chant of acceptance, I got a little shaky during it. I can be at peace with it, but so I'm going to slow down my speech, and I invite you to slow down. As we focus our awareness on our breath, this life force energy, and let us not think of it as life force energy. Let's simply think of it as in-breath and out-breath. And we're simply observing our breath as we consciously breathe in and consciously breathe out. As we slowly and consciously deepen our in-breath, as we slowly and consciously deepen our out-breath, as we feel how it feels to breathe in, as we feel how it feels to breathe out. As we feel the cool air when we breathe in. As we feel the warm air as we breathe out. And a few more breaths on your own, feeling and noticing what you feel, and allowing yourself to feel it and notice it. Now let us focus our awareness on our heart centers and allow our breath to become natural, without any conscious thought. As we observe our heart center, for in our heart center is the home of our holy fire. And our holy fire is the source of our bright light. In every breath that we take with intention, or any time we simply observe our holy fire, we are fanning the flames of our holy fire. Which increases the perception of our already bright light. Because nothing can dim your bright light. Only the debris, the obstacles of life, can obstruct the perception of your light. But fanning the flames of our holy fire, breaks up the debris, Niarya Shahatoryoto, breaks up the obstacles, Nihakatara Aratatiyariata. Thus, allowing your true light to make its way through those obstacles and through the debris, Niaryaratakaha, thus increasing your perception of your own bright light and the other's perception, Atita Ahakayata. Shihasa Atakarararata. As we invite and allow the true divine flow, the true holy fire, to flow in, through, and around us, in every way and everywhere and every when. Yatata Arahesa Ayakahatiriyarata. Effortlessly, naturally, completely. Niyaratukurushuhutorahasayata. And we ask the holy fire to only allow in, Vyapini, allow, hurotokuryo, that which serves our highest good, our true authentic self, and the highest good of all. Every other in Lakash, you, as their true nature. Niyatata harahatakayata. And I invite you to start the divine flow if you have not done so already. Neotoro atara arshkanahiyasaya. Let us take the energy from our heart center, and move it up through the chakras, moving it up through Vishuddha, through Anya, through Sahasrara, through Vyapini, and out of our auric field, and up into the realms, through the realms of separation, and entering into the highest source of consciousness, the home of the pure holy fire, your true home, the home of unconditional love. There are no conditions on this love. Where there is no judgment, where there is no ego, where it always respects free will. That's your free will and the free will of everybody else who is you in Lakash. And where the power is unlimited. And let us bring back more pure holy fire. Unfiltered from life. Let's bring it down through the realms, the ideas of separation, and bringing it back through Vyapini, purifying it. Through Sahasrara, purifying it. Through Anya, purifying it. Through Vishuddha, purifying it. And back into Anahata, your heart center, combining the energy thoroughly and purifying Anahata, Arahaskatatirirata. Now let us ground this energy effectively, moving it through the lower chakras and purifying them. Moving it down through Manipura, purifying it, moving it through Vasundhara, purifying it, through Muladhara, purifying it, through Vasundhara, purifying it, growing roots down into Mother Earth, Nihakatata, Atara, Arasanahi, Chairatoto, down, deep into the heart of Gaia, wrapping these roots around the heart of Gaia, the Hrim, Niharashe Isa Hatutarayachata, giving her a great big hug, and bringing back her grounded love, Niarasha Esaya Akati Torototo, up through the root system, Niarasahaya Tatarata, through Vasundhara, through Muladhara, Svadhisthana, Manipura, and back into Anahata, our heart center, Niyatakatata Atara Arshanahya Katara. Thoroughly combining the energy, Niyarata Asahya Katata. And now let us turn over to our inner being, to continue this divine flow without any conscious thought. Iskononata atara arshkehiskoto urhanata aya arashahiska ata ati ariata hatu korohata. And on the out breath, with intention, focus, and conscious thought, let us push this energy, this purified energy, your true authentic self, your holy fire, out from out from iskatiti urota arahashiata, from anahata, from your heart center, out from all of your chakras, nihakatari, askananotoro, out of your physical body, niatakarshiatata, and out of your auric field, nihashisho otoro orayakata, and out into every aspect of your awareness in every way and everywhere and every when. Ni rosa aya acha ayaka atita hasasaniriariatata, effortlessly, completely, naturally. Ni arishko uturu utara arsanahya katatarata. Now let us create a chest of your creation, in your imagination, in your mind's eye. Neatata arahaskatitiriara. Siugod uruhutariata. And let us put in this chest all of your anger, all of your worry, all of your fears, all of your doubts. Neatata arahashkototora. All of your grief. Siatar, your guilt, your shame. Let's also put in our to-do list, everything on the to-do list, our shopping list, anything that we're going to do the rest of the day, anything that's going to happen this weekend or anytime in the future, anything that has already happened today or any time in the past, let it go. Uturiyasha, and put it in the chest. Niatata atarara shehirkatarata. Let us also ask our inner being to put in this chest what it feels no longer serves, what might distract from our time with the chant, from our time with our breath, and our time with the energy. Let us close the lid on this chest and set it aside. It shall be there for you at the end of meditation, if you so desire. So the process for this, we will start off with one Aum. Let's start off with one Eye-eem. We can do Om Eye-eem, but no, let's do Eye-eem. Nyata asa e kata ta'atiriyarata. We will chant Om Mani Padme Hum 108 times. The default audio track will keep count. I will keep count. I will speak light language. The default audio track will let us know when we move up through the chakras, and it'll let us know when we were on the last one. I'll raise my hand when we move up through the chakras. And again, at the end, we will close out with one Eye-eem. Eye-eem. Atur urahaskana atitiri aratakaya sahatarata. Eye-eem is the counterpart to the Om. Arata hashiso o toro arataka esanaratakariyata. It is the Bija mantra of the Devi. And while we're in this matrix, the Eye-eem is just as valid as the Om. And during the meditation, if you need a sip of water, if you're swallowing, if you're hiccuping, if you're yawning, if you miss a chant, if you're swallowing and you miss a chant, let it go. Just simply pick it up with the next one. And as a matter of fact, we don't even need to let it go, because picking it up with the next one is letting it go. Uturo arahasanata karihitata. Simply by focusing on the now, icha atara arata. It's a normal process of cycles. It's a normal process of life. Nihatara arasaniti ariata. Be easy on yourself. Niari shohutoro urahanakata arahasakirata. Inner breath in for Eye-eem. Eye-eem. As I cue it up, yakatara yatara sahiyatora atakanatara. Starting off with Vasundhara, and a breath in to chant. Ututu manura hayatana hasasiriyaka achiara. Hatutu uhuka ayashahea. Atakaharata e ashayaka atara aheriya. Achahayaka asahanata arha. Ichahanata harati kareha. Atoroto hotorahota. Atahatara harakahera. Atakanaha sasiriyarataha. Aturo mani padme achihiriyarata hakaya. Atu hukutanara. Atakarati hirata taraha. Mani padme atukoroto huta. Ishahakanata arhatatihi. Aturu utanatata mani padme ichahanata kahirata haya. Atur hukuturu honata. Hita mani padme atur hukuturu honata atirayara. Achiharata hataharahika. Atur hukutura. Achihatara arakanahetsira. Hishohutur una. Atakarata hatitaha. Mani atur hatara akahe. Hatur uhunata atara. Ishkana hatara hatira harati. Achihiriara hata. Atur ukunata ataraha. Isha atara hataka era. Hashukonoro hata. Atur ayakanata ahatara. Haturo uta. Ishana hatara heta. Atakuroto hota arhashakanaha. Moving up to Muladhara. Haturu huturu. Atakaharata ihitara hanataha. Atukuroto ushahita anaha. Achaharata atitkarata. Aturo hokotoro honata ata. Hisha ataharata akiraha. Hatur hukotorana. Atura hakara aranahayara atara. Hisho uturu ukaheta arharate. Ichahnata atara arditaha. Mani achkohato uta. Haturo ukutana atara harsihina. Ichahatata atiti ariarata haka. Mani haturo ukatara. Ishahanata karate itara hatikiara. Hasa hakira hatara hakaya. Mani padme haturu uhukana hatara heta. Ishkana hatita kare. Ishahatata aharati. Mani padme hum. Konoto uhura. Ishahanata arahatita hata. Achkuruta haya. Mani ashahikaya. Atahatara harahita harakahe. Ishohukutoro honata karahi. Mani atoro hatana hatati. Atiri ariata hanaka asa. hiso uktur ditidara.
Om
Atakarata
Mani
hirata
Padme
hatitaha.
Hum.
Atur hokotur hana. Ishkana hatata arata hitaha.
Om
Itor
Mani
uhuktara.
Padme
Ishahanata
Hum.
harata hekata. Ishokotor hokana ahasa.
Om
Ichahatata
Mani
harataha.
Padme
Ishaya
Hum.
akatara. Moving up to Svadhisthana. Hushu
Om
utur
Mani
hutata hana.
Padme
Ichahatata
Hum.
harata. Nitkarata itakarata hi. Atut uhuta harate.
Om Mani
Hashahayarata
Padme
nahatara.
Hum.
Itorro hokotanaha. Ishahayata atara inakahaya.
Om
Achoto
Mani
uhutaha hatitaha.
Padme Hum.
Achukorotaha. Arkihinata rahetitiriarata. Atud
Om
uhuta
Mani
ratira.
Padme Hum.
Kachihita harahita. Hatur hokota. Isha hakatar hiria.
Om Mani
Arwaka
Padme
heskonora.
Hum.
Hatur hutura hana atara. Kata hatar
Om
hatanaya.
Mani Padme
Karate hitara
Hum.
haturo. Akaharata itara arahashanira.
Om Mani
Kunoto uhutura
Padme
hata.
Hum.
Kunoto hurutaha. Karashishiaka asanata arate hita.
Om Mani
Isho uturu hukutara
Padme
arahanata
Hum.
kahe. Atakarata heta hatara hatita.
Om
Kunoto hurutaha.
Mani Padme
Hara
Hum.
araki hirta atita hatara hatita. Hatur uhuta hara hatita.
Om Mani
Atakarata haya.
Padme
Hatur
Hum.
hokotana atatara hisa. Hicha atara arhanika asa.
Om
Haturo
Mani
hotora hanaka
Padme
atitara.
Hum.
Haturo hotata atara arkanahata. Atukuruto husha.
Om
Hisa hakanata.
Mani Padme
Ichahara
Hum.
atakaraha. Moving up to Manipura. Haturu
Om
uhucha
Mani
atara
Padme
hatakara.
Hum.
Hatura akanaha sesira. Hatura ukotura atinahata.
Om
Hatura
Mani
uhutatara hatata.
Padme Hum.
Hatura akayanaha. Hatura hakatara arshanahata. Icha hatata
Om
ahatiariara.
Mani Padme
Hatura hatara
Hum.
hanakaha. Achahatara harakahir. Atura utanata karara.
Om Mani
Atura haya.
Padme Hum.
Hatika arata atara harashihita. Ashuhukutoro utanata arahitara.
Om Mani
Achikarati
Padme
hitara harayata
Hum.
hana. Aturu huturu hashayata hata.
Om
Hatukurutu
Mani
hutarata harayata haya.
Padme Hum.
Hatukurahayata ata. Haturu hukushaya atara hisata.
Om Mani
Ishahanata arhatikir
Padme
arhatira.
Hum.
Haturu huturana. Arharakishihitara artakinata.
Om
Hatutu
Mani
uhutarata.
Padme Hum.
Atkorata hatarihisha. Arashukuturu utanata arashieta.
Om Mani Padme
Kotuhurutu
Hum.
uhushaya. Atakanata harata hita. Atura ayakanahati
Om
taharayata.
Mani Padme
Kata
Hum.
ataharahata. Hatukurioshohoyokaha.
Om Mani Padme
Konoto
Hum.
horota atara. Hisa hakatara harata hitaha. Kanata hatara.
Om Mani
Ishahatara
Padme
haratike hatanaha.
Hum.
Moving up to Anahata. Huturu
Om
huturu
Mani
husha.
Padme
Iskanahatara
Hum.
haratita. Atukoroto huturu huchaya. Ichahatata ahanatiyareha.
Om Mani
Ichahatara
Padme
harakanahati.
Hum.
Atur hokotora anata karata. Ishahanata araki
Om
hitarahata.
Mani Padme
Nataharata hi.
Hum.
Aturo hukuturo hushaya. Ati tehariata hatar hagaya. Achuhuroto hota. Kahashaya asahakatita. Hatur uhukunora. Atut ahatar hatana hakaya. Ichahatara hakira. Atur hukuturo anata kahatita. Atur uhuta darharya. Konoto horota. Atihiriarata hakata. Hatuto uhuta rashia. Akahashana hakayara. Aturo hukutana atatarihita. Kotoro hutor haya. Ichahatata hatar akanahatitaha. Ishohotoro unohokata. Atakarata hatita. Haturo hukotona atata haratita. Ichahatata arhataka nataraheta. Hitoro uhukana hatura. Atukaraya chahatara. Hatita kahatara arana atita. Haturo uhukuna. Itaharata atata. Achakaharata aera harata. Ishohotoro una. Atakarata. Itakarata. Moving up to Vishuddha. Koroto huroto hushahi. Atata ahrita hatara arkaha. Atoro hokotoro hushi. Atakarata hatara harshahayasa. Achikoroto horoto hariara. Atukarata hanata harihita. Achahatata arhayeta. Atuhuroto utanati karyataha. Atukoroto hota. Achaharata hayakrakahir. Atuhuroto uchahanata kahrataha. Atukoroto uhuta. Atakarati itara aratakira. Ishohotoro ukanata arahitara hakaya. Atukuraya. Atuhuroto hotana atakarihita. Achahatata aratihita. Arawakoshotoro. Aturo takaya ashaya ka. Atur uhutanahatira. Achahatata a. Atukuroto uhutana. Itata aharataha. Atukuroto ota. Kahashaya katara ata. Uturu uhukatara. Achuhuroto anahaka. Atur uhutatara hetara akaya. Kanata harata aheta. Hatur uhukanata arahetita. Kotor uhutana. Atur uhutara. Ishahakanata arataha. Ichahatata aharata herata. Ishohonoto horotaha. Atakara ataha. Moving up to Anya. Utur uhutara. Chahayaka asana. Atur ukotora anata. Ishahanata areta hirata. Ishohotoro hukona. Atur hukotana hayata. Achahetata arhata kirahata. Hatur hukotara ashayata. Atur ukonaya ata arahatita. Atakarata hatata ara. Kuturu hutora hana. Arishihia saya akatara aratanira. Hatutu uhukaya. Atakarata hayata atara. Konoto huruta ata. Aturu hukutiaria tahana. Ichahatara arana hagera. Shikanatara arasikari heturo. Aturu hukotana atara. Aturu uhuturu ashanakayera. Ichahotur hata. Hachuru hukuturu utara arahani. Haturu uhukatara arahiana. Kachaharutu ura. Atura hayata anata atara.
Mani Padme
Hatu to
Hum.
uhu katata atara hatita. Atura hayacha anata.
Om
Atura hukuchari.
Mani
Atakaya.
Padme Hum.
Atura uhu tananata karihisukutara. Ichkana hate yarata hata.
Om Mani
Hatura
Padme
ukutura anata
Hum.
atara arati. Hatutu uhu katata aratita.
Om
Kanata harata.
Mani
Atura
Padme
ukutura una.
Hum.
Moving up to Sahasrara. Hututu
Om
uhuta
Mani
tara hitara.
Padme Hum.
Kashihi katata anatara. Atutu uhutara.
Om
Karahara shihika
Mani
anahatatara.
Padme Hum.
Kotora hotora anahata. Itata arata hirataha.
Om Mani
Hatukura hotora hashaya.
Padme Hum.
Hatura okonata atara aratisaya. Uchoto uhutara haya.
Om Mani
Aishayaka
Padme
asahana.
Hum.
Atoro hokotoro kayata atara hasira. Hotor
Om
ukochara harita
Mani
harata.
Padme Hum.
Hatur hukutora anata atara. Kashihika asata.
Om
Itor hukotara
Mani
aranahayeta.
Padme Hum.
Atita karati hitara hatara. Hator ukotora anashaye.
Om Mani
Isakatara irata
Padme
kanahasi.
Hum.
Aturo ukotoro anatara. Kichahatara arahinata atara.
Om Mani
Icho to huroto
Padme
utanaka
Hum.
shayara. Kanata arata hayakata. Aturo hukuta arata
Om
atikarahyata.
Mani Padme Hum.
Huturo uhaya. Akahashaya akaturo utono.
Om
Atakarata hira.
Mani Padme
Haturo ukunoto
Hum.
urahatara asa. Hitoro uhukatahatara he.
Om
Ichahatara
Mani
arakanaheta arahata.
Padme Hum.
Atoro utonoro horata. Atakorota hatara. Achakaharata
Om
hayara.
Mani
Ishoto uto
Padme Hum.
urahaha. Moving up to Vyapini. Koro
Om
hututu
Mani
uhutara.
Padme
Itata
Hum.
arata hatitaha. Atoro hokotoro hanata. Itoto uhuta
Om
araharetaha.
Mani Padme Hum.
Atukoroto hotoraha. Ishkanahatara arakihiata. Hatoto
Om
uhutara arahana
Mani
akayara.
Padme Hum.
Aturu hukatara arta. Atoto uhukanata arta aisha.
Om
Huturu
Mani
utanata
Padme
arata.
Hum.
Achahoroto huto. Araharita atara arkanahati.
Om
Aturu
Mani
hukoda.
Padme Hum.
Ichohoroto uta. Aturu hukanata arata. Atakarata
Om
hayita atara
Mani
atikanahata.
Padme Hum.
Aturu ukatara. Kotoro hukanata aratita. Hisho
Om
hutoro
Mani
unahatata harata.
Padme Hum.
Kanata harata a. Aturu hukutura hanata.
Om
Isha tatara hara.
Mani Padme Hum.
Konoto horotaha. Aturu hukatara anahata karahati.
Om
Isha hanata
Mani
atara hatataha.
Padme Hum.
Haroto uroto hota. Achahatara arakanhayatara.
Om
Atoto
Mani
uhutara.
Padme Hum.
Kanahatata aha. Aturo ukoshoro utara shihisukohata.
Om
Atuhureata hatara
Mani
hana.
Padme Hum.
Kunoto horo. Last one.
Om
Hotoro
Mani
hutatara iskara
Padme Hum.
anahata. And a breath in for Eye-eem. Eye-eem. Stay here for as long as you like. Niyarata atirarata. Spend more time in the energy. Niyarohusotoro. Maybe even pause the video. No otoro akata arata. When you are ready, Niyariyashahekotoro hotoro. Slowly edge. Kitoru natariata. So amused at those synchronicities. Fukutoriya shita. Slowly bring your awareness back to the here and now. Slowly get up and dust yourself off because it's okay, baby. Invite in some gentle movements, like maybe dusting off the old you. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes and welcome in the new now and the new you. I encourage you and invite you to journal. I'm not going to talk a lot because we're going long. Some amusements that I noticed during meditation. As soon as we got into the heart center, the first roll of thunder came along. As soon as we got to Vishuddha, another roll of thunder. And all I heard was the lightning of the lustre that's of you in Vyapini, of you embodying your Devi, Niyatara Araskana, your divine feminine, your allowing of the awesomeness of who you are. And then again, when we got up to Anya, it did it again. When we got up to Sahasrara, it did it again. And when we got to Vyapini, there was a siren going off. An emergency situation in your reality. As your mind is being blown by the awesomeness of your inner being. As your reality of who you think you are is breaking down, it's okay, baby. Get up and dust yourself off. Katida orata nata. Truer words have never been spoken, and I'm laughing at the synchronicities of it all. And I've been creating my reality, so itara arskanahitakara arskanahatakara ashihisuko otorota. Claim ownership of everything that you're creating. Claim ownership of everything that you're experiencing. Not in an egoic way, but in a natural karma, dharma flow of it, intention and observation of it. Being sovereign of that you are both the light shining out and the reflection coming back. So I'm going to get going before it rains, and maybe so I can get to the yoga class that I booked so that I'm not late. I might have to run like yesterday. So, they want to, no, tomorrow. I thank you, my friends, for sharing in my highest bliss. Yes. Okay, one last thing. Ati, did you notice the first thing that's on your list? My girl, Saraswati, Yatakaria Tukur, down in a comment is a link to Zazaya Para Ananda. I made it a year and a half ago for Saraswati, for her puja. Na atara arakanata kiryarata. There's a speedy version and a slow version. Ni akara atakara. If you want to watch me make that yantra, ni arasko uturu, my grid, up to you, utukuriyata, whether you want to watch the quick version of light language where I sped it up, atukuriyata atar, or if you want to hear all the insane comments that I'm making while I'm doing it, akatara wa arashahia skotur, zazaya, ni ararta para ananda, na arakashi otor oto, this abundant, ever lasting, ever continuous flow of abundance from who you are and also what you're allowing in. First drop of rain. So thank you, my friends, for sharing in my highest bliss. Shine on and make it a great day. Because why would you leave it up to anyone else? Kaya to urahat.